and welcome to Women Arts Day 2026. This is our celebration for Women's History Month. I'm Avis Boone, representing SAG-AFTRA.
I'm Yvonne Curry, representing Stage Directors and Choreographers Society.
And I'm Shellen Lubin, representing the League of Professional Theater Women. Together, the three of us make up the co-presidents of the WHAM Coalition. It takes all three of us to do it.
It takes a village. So, as we do every year, we like to acknowledge that we are on the hilly island once known as Matahatta, home of the Lenape people.
And so, as we stand in gratitude for the indigenous peoples on whose land we stand, we also stand with all peoples around the world struggling for peace and the ability to live and thrive.
Including us here in the United States. This is a hard, challenging time for us all, getting more challenging all the time. And we just want you to know that we're here, we're with you, and we're not going anywhere. In fact, we started later today because we thought some of us might be busy earlier. But we can't say why. For over 30 years, the WHAM Coalition has been harnessing the power of our member organizations to address issues of concern to women in our industry, connecting individuals and organizations to share information, sponsor events, and nurture the voices and visions of women.
Yes. And we would like to acknowledge all the reps from all the organizations who have served on our board, now and in the present. So with those in the now and in the past. It is very early on this day. Would you please all stand?
Past and present board members.
Past and present board members.
There's a bunch of them.
There's a bunch. You may not know this, but if you are a member of any of our member orgs, you're a member of the coalition. All of our member orgs are listed on our website as they always, and as always, a way to connect with us. We're at Women Arts Media on all the social media platforms. And you can scan the QR code in the lobby or go to our website to find out more information and to get on the mailing list for those of you who ask me how to get information about us.
Including how to become an individual member. Whether or not you are a member of one of our orgs, you can now become an individual member of the WHAM Coalition.
And I know at least one person today who was on the waiting list, and when we saw her name there as an individual member, we bumped her up and said, no, you have a reservation. So it's got perks. It's a great time to get involved with us. We are looking for a few more reps from some of the organizations. Please reach out to any of us. Ask any of us during the reception for more information. Give us your information. We'll connect with you. We're happy to get you more involved.
And we're always thrilled to have SAG-AFTRA's Chief Labor Policy Officer and New York Local Executive Director, Rebecca Damon, at our events. Thank you, Rebecca, for being here today. She's also the recent recipient at the Muse Awards, and if y'all don't know about the Muse Awards, they're sponsored by one of our sponsors, NYWIFT. She recently got the Made in New York Award from MOAN, the Mayor's Office of Film and Entertainment. So congratulations for that, Rebecca. And I'd also like for Rebecca to just come up and just say a few words.
Well, hello there, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's really fantastic to be with you here today. And on behalf of the SAG-AFTRA Board of Directors, this is one of our favorite events at SAG-AFTRA. These powerful women of the coalition, she snuck on the other side. I had the gesture planned, and these powerful women here and your entire board do so many things to support the creative community, whether you're a director, an actor, a producer, a writer, crew. This is really the place where it's at, where we get to know each other and where we get to advance the community. There's a great intersection of unions and powerful women and the men who support them. And that's part of what today is all about. And so I just really want to thank the coalition and its leadership for all that they do. These fabulous co-presidents who are on both sides of me here. There you go. These fabulous, fabulous women and their board for making this day possible. You acknowledge sometimes things are not easy. When things are not easy, I think our response should be is we work together in solidarity to make it better. And that's what this coalition does. So thank you for being here today.
We also want to thank our fabulous co-producer, Terry Lawler. You will see her probably behind the bar during the reception. She is amazing and does this with us every year. Back when she was executive director of NIWIFT, but has continued even though she is no longer in that position. Also, the SVA BFA Film Department, helmed by Mary Lee Grisanti, who helps us be here for this event.
Thank you.
Also, SAG-AFTRA and Women Arts, who provided the food, NIWIF and Editorial, McKinsey, and Women Intermediate Producers. Independent producers who provided the wine, and her flicks, Andriana Shaw.
And now, the short Round Robin, written and directed by Maria Belafonte, followed by our feature film, Viva Verdi, written and directed by Yvonne Russo, who you will be hearing from later. Among its many honors, we wanted to make sure we mentioned that Viva Verdi had an Academy Award nomination for Best Original Song, Sweet Dreams of Joy, composed by Nicholas Pike. Your movies. We were all crying over there. I don't know about you, but every day the earth gets further away and the sky gets closer. Amazing. And we are all artists because art brings together the earth and the sky. And now we are going to have our amazing panel.
Our first panelist is the director of Viva Verdi, Yvonne Russo, an award-winning director. Oh, go ahead and clap. She's an award-winning director, producer, writer, and accomplished storyteller, as you could see. As an independent producer, Russo has worked in more than 17 countries. Recent work includes directing and producing for the 4-part acclaimed Onyx Collective Hulu docuseries Vow of Silence, The Assassination of Annie Mae, for which she won a 2025 Humanitas Award. Her producing credits include the documentary feature The Rescuers. Yeah, guys, we made an announcement in the beginning to turn off your phones. Thank you. Her producing credits include the documentary feature The Rescuers, Heroes of the Holocaust. Russo wrote, directed, and produced the animated film Minnie's War Bonnet for PBS, a proud member of the Singagoo Lakota tribal nation. Is that right?
Sekanju.
Sekanju, thank you. She has worked throughout her career to elevate underrepresented voices through storytelling, bridging past and present with compelling narratives that inspire and educate.
Thank you.
Our next panelist is the producer of Viva Verdi, Christine Lamont. Christine is a producer, director, writer, and former film marketing executive at Universal, Disney, and Orion. Other credits include at Wayways, Turandot, and Children of the River, Dandelion Dharma, and the play Three Grooms and a Bride, and syndicated television show Mary Lou, starring Mary Lou Henner. Her directing credits include A Heart United and the Angina Monologues. She spent over 5 years as Executive Vice President of the Motion Picture Division at Rogers & Cohen, and as an international strategic marketer, worked at legendary Italian studio Cinecittà in Rome, and served as marketing director at TV3 New Zealand while living in Auckland.
And the moderator for our panel is our old friend, the film's executive producer, Simone Pero, an Emmy-nominated producer, a sought-after strategic consultant, and an active leader in the media and entertainment industry. In addition to Viva Verdi, her credits include Lily, which we showed last year on Women's Arts Day, The Tale, and This Changes Everything, among other film and TV projects. Her company, For Impact Productions, works on projects that positively impact society, culture, and humanity. And here they are, Yvonne Russo, Christine Lamont, and our moderator, Simone Pero.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's thrilling always to be in this theater. And with my friends at all of these organizations, I'm on the President's Council of New York Women in Film and Television, and these events are so important for us in the community, so thank you. Okay, wow. I love this film, and this the 80th time I've seen it, so it's always gets me. So let's start at the beginning. How did you come to find this amazing place, Casa Verdi? And then how did you both come to work on this project together?
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Super excited. This is wonderful. So I learned about Casa Verdi. It was in 2010. I was working for National Geographic in Washington, D.C. as a series producer. And we were covering a story on Milan and its hidden treasures and working with the magazine department as well. And I was following a photographer named David Yoder, who was covering the story for the magazine, and I was doing the TV side. And while in Milan, he said, we have to go to Casa Verdi. You've got to see this place. There's no other place like it in the world. It houses all of these opera stars and musicians, and let's go check it out. And so that was the first time that I had been to Casa Verdi. And so when I went I was immediately just blown away. The home, as you can see, is this neo-Gothic style mansion. It is all about music and arts. From the moment I walked in, I just heard the sounds of, vocalists, a soprano who was singing in this gorgeous voice, and I thought it was somebody who was really young. I was thinking, oh, this must be somebody in their 20s. But as I followed the voice, it was a woman who was in her, much older. And it was actually Lina Vasta, the lady with the white sunglasses. And she was teaching a young Japanese student. And I thought, wow, you don't see this often. This is so amazing. And I thought, one day I want to come back and tell this story, but at the time it wasn't appropriate because it wasn't, there was not enough time to tell the story. So I said, one day I want to come back, and I knew I needed an outstanding producing partner, and I decided I'm going to contact Christine Lamont.
That was quite a while ago, 2013.
13 years ago. Quite a journey it's been, and delightful and joyful, and how lucky we are to be here at this time and space. But I remember Yvonne reaching out and saying, actually, she's a chanter, and she said that they told me to get in touch with you. And I said, okay, what did they say? And they said, you have to be a part of this project. And she described it. I was living in Rome at the time with my husband, and she said, it's filming in Milan, it's Verdi, and it's also these older generation of musicians and opera singers. And I said, that's it, perfect for me. And also, I've had this karma with Verdi all my life, from my grandmother making sauce and playing these Verdi and Puccini red vinyl albums when I was 12, 13. And also when I worked at Universal, I worked with Franco Zeffirelli on La Traviata. So it was just a perfect circle for me to be. It was a gift and a blessing.
Yeah, amazing. So, okay, let's talk about production. So it was 14 years ago that you started.
So it's, yes.
Yes,
14.
and so let's throw in how many shoots, and then you had COVID. So what, kept you sustained as filmmakers and to keep going?
Well, as you know, many of you here are filmmakers, directors, and you have to have multiple projects as you're working on one or two at the same time. And during this time, we needed to raise money. So the first thing we did is in 2014, we went and we funded ourselves to travel to Milan to go ask permission from the board of Casa Verdi, and then also to observe the residents and meet the residents and get to know the house and how it operates. And then we shot a little development footage at that time, and then created a proof of concept. Once we had our proof of concept, we traveled back to the United States, and then we had to start a campaign.
Yes, Indiegogo campaign, which was very generous at the time. That was 2014. And we raised over $30,000, which was really a lot of money at that time for opera. So it was encouraging to us, actually. And then we went back the second time, and we had Jacek Glaskis, this great cinematographer that Yvonne brought in. It was amazing. And so, and then the third time we went back was another incredible time, because we were able to get an arc of a lot of these residents that we were following, as well as the students who we fell in love with. So it was exciting to be able to do that.
Yeah.
We shot over 7 years total.
Wow. Yes. these
Raising
labors
money
of
the
love.
whole time.
Yes. So that goes to these characters. I imagine that, everyone had a story there that you wanted to kind of capture. So talk a little bit about how did you land on these unbelievable characters and story, and maybe a little bit about that editing process.
Well, they were all so vibrant and open and energetic, and they wanted, as soon as they saw the cameras, they were like, come in my room, come to my house, let me tell you my story. I did this, I did that. So there was no shortage of people, that's for sure. Christine had a crush on Jombi.
I still do.
No, but they were all just very open, really open and willing, and really it was a matter of time and getting to know them, and also see if they were with us for the long haul, in the sense of allowing us in their rooms, allowing us to be with them, to tell us their story. We also had to reach out to their family members and ask permission, see if we can get archival photos of them, all of that. So that was a process.
We also had to pivot a couple times, because Beppe de Tomasi, who we loved, we fell in love with him when Francis Coppola was doing Godfather 3. He wanted the best opera conductor in all of Italy, and Beppe Tomasi was the man. So he was there, and he had wonderful, charming stories to tell us. And they all had altars to Verdi in their room, and I love to tell this because he had one with Verdi and Francis Coppola and Andy Garcia. So it was really cute to see that. So, but he was failing quickly, and so as much footage as we had of him, he really ended up on the Sun sunsetter floor where there's Alzheimer's and other things, so we had to follow some other people, but that was easy, as Yvonne said. There was an embarrassment of riches with great stories and great people and great passion, so it was easy for us.
So when did you realize that this was a film about joy rather than this, the depressive trope of aging? How did that come about?
Immediately. Immediately, because the moment we walked in, I mean, they're all so vibrant, and they built community around music, which I thought was so incredible. Because once you reach a certain age, I think vocalization sometimes stops, or you're just not communicating as much. But for them, they were communicating mostly through music. So they were singing all the time, and they were, just gathering in circles. And so that was a theme that we wanted to pull out right away, because the inevitability of what's going to happen to all of us at some point is there already. So we didn't feel like we needed to dwell on that much.
I think there was a great sense of humor throughout the house. They had great wit, and they were very entertaining among themselves and with us. So I think we picked that up right away. I think a lot of older Italians are like that anyway. It's just part of their MO, right?
Yes. So for me, this film really touches a lot about kind of the deeper meaning of life. And there were so many poignant words and themes, from Jambi's, search and longing for connection with his father, and, life is a maze. Like, there are so many tidbits about how to live and age, and I'm just wondering, for you, have you changed on your perspective of life from making this project?
I mean, I think for me, it's really about being present in every moment, because our lives are just so busy constantly. But if you're fully present within the moments, and Jambi really talked about this a lot, is that you're able to see fully, and you can make decisions, fully, but also being connected to nature and the energy from nature that we all get, and that invisible frequency, that's in the universe that we all can harness, within ourselves. He's a healer. He's an energy he's just an incredible human. And so the takeaways for me were that, and just harnessing that.
For me, it just confirmed what I've always known and what I've always lived by is say yes, show up, look for and expect miracles, because that's what happens there. It's just this amazing thing that this 96-year-old Angelo Loferoso can hit those notes, and they're healthy because they're exercising their lungs by singing and being active every day. So it's a lesson for all of us, and you don't have to wait to start. It's like, it's right now. Show up and say yes and be active. It's important, and with purpose and creative activity whenever you can.
Well, Christine, that goes to my next question. You as
Our blueprint.
producer, Christine, I have witnessed Christine bring this unbelievable team of people around this project at every stage. And as a producer, and many producers here too, just can you talk about that strategy of building support over a project, and then the financing of it and the continuing of it into now our next phase of the project?
Right. Well, I think that I've been very lucky, because I've been in the movie industry many years, and I was studio trained. And when you're studio trained, you cannot err, you cannot mess up. So I come to independent filmmaking with this other headset that isn't always appreciated at the time, but later they understand that there's a method to this madness, which is you have to start with a log line. You have to have but obviously Yvonne knew this, but so it wasn't a surprise. But we were very intent upon being professional and being studio-like, having a budget, having a log line, having a trailer, just following those routes. And I think that whole strategy, you have to be strategic. And you have to bring in good partners that believe in your project, that have as much passion as you do, because they're like ambassadors for you. And we did bring in the most incredible. And thanks to you, actually, so much, Simone, for opening up doors to Regina Scully and to Geraldine Dreyfus, who's been a supporter, and so many people, Tiffany and Joe Soros, and so many great people that have been EPs on our film. So I think that's part of it. You have to really be professional and work hard and stay the course.
I agree. If I may add, NIWIFT was a big part of this film also. NIWIFT in the sense Terry Lawler, who invited me to join the board of NIWIFT, in which I met Simone Pero, and that was 7 years ago. It started there also. You know, NIWIFT became a fiscal sponsor. And you tap into your, you know, you make friends. And again, you build community around your work. And that led to, again, meeting Simone and meeting Ruth Ann Harnish. And the list goes on. And honestly, like, it takes a tribe to make a movie. It's never just one person, even though you could be the director, producer. But it was a lot of us, so. Yeah.
Okay, so then you have to talk about the Oscar campaign. So, you know, we were a film without distribution,
A baby, an indie
a baby indie film. We were just seen at festivals, and then, you know, then we're beating out like heavy hitters like Miley Cyrus and Wicked during
Netflix,
the nominations.
Warner Brothers, big boys.
Yes.
9 Inch Nails.
Oh, there you go. Oh my goodness. So, what do you think was behind that? That then you get to the final 5.
Well, I think part of it is that we were very strategic, but let's start with Nick Pike, okay, because he brought this incredible song to us, this aria, and
He's our composer.
yeah, it was incredible. So he's very beloved. I've been an Academy member for 40 years, so I know a lot of the members of the Academy. Nick's been a member for many years, and it's the music branch is very small. It's like 40 members, and I think he's very beloved within the industry and within the Academy. And it was also a little different to have a classical sound instead of just pop. So I think it was embraced on that level. And then we had Jeff Sanderson, who's an incredible PR, an incredible awards campaign. So he was very strategic, and we followed that, and we were very smart with our money, and some of the EPs gave us some funds to keep continuing because they saw the work that we were doing and how we were moving forward with it. And I think that was being strategic, and we had a little bit of money, but we made a big splash with it as much as we could.
It's been amazing. So now you are, well, we'll talk about kind of where the film is, you know, because you all have a very specific strategy to kind of continue in this very challenging indie film marketplace, right? So can you talk about maybe your distribution plans next with the film?
Sure. Well, one of the things is we own our movie. So we decided
power.
early on we would retain our own rights. And partly because we want to make sure that it's seen in places to the demographic in which it belongs, but also that we control that also. And so we always said that we wanted this to be a blueprint for senior living centers, for music therapy programs, to do something that is going to enhance the lives of older adults, to build community around music, and to do something that's just a little bit different, because we could roll out theatrical. We have had a tiny limited theatrical run, but as you all know, distribution now is totally different, and you have to really market and push. And so we're stacking our distribution in various types of phases, which is probably too long to explain right now, but we're doing non-theatrical. We're on jolt.film, which is streaming. It's streaming here in North America, Canada now.
We're licensing.
And licensing.
We're licensing, which has really been exciting too, because people have been coming to us, a lot of them, for community centers and retirement homes, opera houses, and that's been another way of being a hybrid, which you have to do today, self-distribute and also bring on some partners at the same time.
So, well, I think we'll open up in a minute for other questions. So, I just want to end on, before we open it up, what is your hope for the film, for the world of aging, or our understanding of aging, and then also for younger generations and for society as a whole?
I just hope that generations understand that there's such richness and wisdom in all ages, and that exchange, that intergenerational exchange, is vital, and it's rich and rewarding.
And also that seniors are our wisdom keepers. They're our wisdom keepers, and there's so much knowledge there, and if we just take the time to sit and listen, and to learn from each other, I think it's wonderful. And then also music, tapping into the power of music and the way it enhances your life on every level, I think is wonderful. And having a workbook and really working on an impact plan, again, where this goes to different senior living centers and throughout the world, I think is really key for us.
So I will say that we are building this impact campaign. Please visit us, vivaverdithefilm.com. If anyone has a retirement community organization that they would like to screen the film, please see me, please see us before the evening is over. And we're building an advisory board of experts. So if any of y'all are experts in arts, creativity, aging, please come and talk with us, because we're doing a lot with building out this impact. So we have some time, I think, for some questions. Anyone have? Yeah, and we have some mics here, might help.
Want to ask a question?
So thank you. It was a beautiful film. I am a musician, though I don't play that type of music, but I really felt it. I guess my first question, are either of the two of you musicians?
Yes, I am.
What do you play?
And I've always, percussion.
Okay.
And I've always followed music my whole life. I was a PR person at the Jazz Workshop Paul's Mall in Boston. It was the premier jazz club. I've always loved music, always been around it. And I think Yvonne, too, loves music.
Not really. I had an acoustic electric guitar, and I tried for a while, but I didn't keep it up. But I love music.
And then the other question, to be honest, so I'm a first assistant camera person. I worked at Panavision, New York, as staff. I probably know some mutual DPs or ACs. And I'm a musician. So I'm curious, the person in the room with these guests, who was speaking Italian to the person? In other words, I realize sitting here that if neither of you speak Italian, I'm not sure if you do.
I speak some Italian.
Okay, but the translator
Yeah.
himself or herself is one of the key figures here, because there was so much intimacy and you were able to draw them out. And so if the translator was cold or standoffish, that would have been a filter that would have interfered. So I'm curious about the translator or translators.
So the first thing we did is also hire a local Italian producer. His name is Federico Rodelli. And so he was with us every step of the way. And so we'd have our questions, and, basically he would recite them to them. and then we would listen. We didn't have we didn't have the technology at the time to have instant translation, so there were times where we had to take a pause, and he would have to explain in detail, like the nuance of what the person said. So it was a bit of a process, but we had Italian translators throughout.
And although I knew a lot of the body language, he also had to translate the body language once in a while because Italians talk with their body a lot.
That's funny. Well, thank you and good luck with
Thank
for-
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great. I had that question on my list. I love that you asked that. Yeah.
Oh, hi. Congratulations again for such an incredible film. I was crying while you, towards the end. Today's actually my father's 93rd birthday. If he were still to be here with us, but I loved all your choice of shots, especially the close-ups. You had close-ups of the shoes, the hands, the couples or friends perhaps holding each other's hands, the whole aspect of the food. I mean, I just think that you really embodied not just Italian culture, but the centenarian culture that comes with Italy. And I just wanted to talk to, and thank you also talk about self-distribution, Christine, because, and as well, Yvonne, because, as a documentarian filmmaker myself, we all know what the struggle is. And when you just said you had to self-fund your first, trip to Milan, I thought, oh gosh, I don't feel as bad having to fund a lot of my own stuff, and often give up your salary as a director and producer. But I wanted you to talk a little bit about the cinematography and your choice in editing and how that process evolved over 14 years, because I had no idea that that's how long it took to do this. I'm just learning about this today, so I think it speaks highly, of course, of your remarkable resilience and persistence in wanting to get this beautiful story out there. And I also wanted to ask, in terms of distribution, if you're planning on showing it to educational institutions, because I think beyond the, I hate to call it nursing homes, but also like at universities.
Okay, yeah, sure. So the question is first about shooting and close-ups and how we made that choice. So I always imagine them as portraitures, kind of like oil paintings is what came to mind first. And so that's why we always had the black backdrop when we did the key interviews.
I remember you going, we had camera A and camera B, and Yvonne said, camera B, which was Federico Rodelli, get the feet, get the hands, get the close-ups.
Yeah, and so we used an Ari Amira camera, and that was a beautiful camera that gives you enough depth of field in headshot style portraitures. And then we had long lenses when there were places where we needed to be intimate because we didn't want to be right in their face, right? So we had to kind of be away so we can capture those moments with the camera. And then over time, technology changed. So we actually shot with 3 different cameras. So you'll see some grainier footage that was with the Canon 5D Mark II, and then Ari Amira, and then, I forgot what the last one was.
Yeah, and then just to answer the quick question, yes, we are looking at education and universities and anyone that also trains folks that handle a lot of the issues. So we have a line here, so I want to make sure we move on. Yes?
Thank you very much. I'll start with my only one question. What do you sort of like see as the challenge that the society in this country, or maybe just presently in the city, is going to be facing with the message of your film? Because now I'm going to go on my thoughts. Okay, go ahead. I'll just speak to you later.
Yes.
Because this film is very personal to me. And
So the
I'll tell you
question-
later why.
What's the question? You have the question?
What are the challenges that society faces in the message of this film?
What is the challenges
wherein
society is
older adults
facing?
should be really enabled and encouraged to bring out their talent, especially when they're very music.
Well, I mean, I think fostering these programs, establishing music therapy as an actual therapeutic program that enhances your life, because we're finding, there's dopamine and chemical, oxytocin, there's chemicals within your brain that are released that help with your daily life. And that's why even if they don't have music therapy, we're saying listen to music. Music activates memory, and there's scenes in the movie where we have moments where there's, people remembering the past. And so I think the challenge would be with healthcare systems and getting Western medicine to acknowledge that the way it should be, where it's funded.
Really, to treat older people the way they treat younger people. It really is. And you have a great saying about that, Simone, about how can we not do this? We
Yes.
can't afford not to do this.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Magnificent sight and sound. What about the sunflower image? I wonder about it.
The sunflower image. Yes.
But
I love my sunflowers. Well, our sunflowers. They always reminded me of a chorus of people. So to me, that was always going to be a metaphor that was in the film, although I didn't get to really layer it in the way I had wanted to.
No, you did not.
But it's just about life, really. It's about life. And they're in Parma. They're not there anymore because of climate change. Unfortunately, they have not come back in that way. But to me, it was a metaphorical thing. Thank you.
Editorial.
Yes. Really quickly, I actually first want to congratulate the first film, because I don't know if the person's in the house, but that was
Yes.
really beautiful for
Beautiful
round
film.
robin.
Yes,
Everyone else,
Maria.
beautiful. My question, I'm tall, I'm sorry, I can't bend down. My question is about the archive. Because you had so many subjects that you were tapping into, and there's a lot of video, a lot of photographs, but I guess they were really good at keeping their own archive, so to speak. Can you talk a little bit about on the editing process in terms of like pulling that and just the time? Like, I'm really curious about your edit and pulling all that archival material, and of course the clearance of it all as well, but just pulling all that together.
We had a
Both
really
share it. Go
great
ahead.
we had a really great archivist, archival producer, Veronica Brady, and she brought so many beautiful images to us. It was hard to choose sometimes, but I love our archival footage. It was great.
We had to sort. It was research, a lot of research on where they were when they were in their prime years, what the world was like at that time. So it was a deep dive into researching the past for all of the guests, really, and then Veronica Brady pulling that up for us, and we had to really scrub through hundreds of clips, from Sicily and Italy and, just a lot of stuff. And then eventually family archives, we pulled all of that together. But it was very expensive, another thing we had to raise money for, but very time consuming. So yeah, it's a process.
Yes.
Hi, congratulations. Enjoyed it very much. This is a two-part question. Number one, where is the Senior Center for the Arts or focused on the arts in this country? I know
In
the
Los
support.
Angeles,
There's
the motion picture home.
there. Yeah,
the
there's
motion
not.
picture room.
This is part of our impact campaign. Is that this is not. This is why we're looking at this as a blueprint for this country. Like there's one in LA, and we're trying to.
How about Jersey?
Is there one in New Jersey? Okay.
New Jersey for,
Yeah.
for actors.
So there's like
actors, I think.
one and one. So we need more. Okay.
And also,
Great.
the big story in this country, where classical music is concerned, is how women instrumentalists in the orchestras are suing for sexual harassment the male orchestral members that they've had to work with and have been abused by for decades. So who's going to do that film?
Not me.
Not me.
Yes, Yvonne.
Quickly, did any of the actual participants or anyone from Casa Verde get to view the finished product?
Well, Jombi did. So he recently passed away. Yes, but before he did, he actually contacted Christine on Facebook and his son did.
Yeah,
And-
he did get to see it with his friends and his family, and he was very moved. He called crying and with tears just said, "You really captured the home, you captured me and my youth growing up, and what a gift." He was very grateful, and this man is everything. He's an actor, he's on stage, he's in films, he's on all the great opera houses in the world. He's really an amazing man.
But in October, we premiered it at Casa Verde. So many of the widows were there, and they were watching, and
Tina's son.
family
there,
members. So
family
they all loved it. They embraced it.
Beautiful.
Bittersweet
Thank you.
because so
So
many
one
of them were gone, but
Yeah.
their family members were able to see them on screen.
So one last question here.
How are you? I've enjoyed your movie, and I'm a screenwriter. I was wondering if any of you are looking for any new ideas. I would like to work with you.
Oh, it's so sweet. Well, we can talk at the reception. Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that. Thank you.
So I guess
Before we end,
I was looking for you.
I'll start it.
Okay, great.
We have a special treat.
Yes, we do.
Turns out it's Christine's birthday.
Yes.
Yay!
Happy birthday, Christine.
Yay!
Happy birthday,
Hope you'll all
Christine.
enjoy it with me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, thank you both. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to hand this over now to Shellen.
Or Avis.
And
Can you please join us in the lobby for food and networking?
Thank you so much for being here and enjoy the festivities.